Signed this January 2005. A new year began and I returned to the hospital. But on this day, instead of my usual 4F room, I ended up in a conference room of sorts. They took me there. And then my father and the doctors had a little talk. I joined in. Well, they talked to me. So this was their so-called announcement. They said it in a terribly roundabout fashion, but they told me that I was going to die. Of course! I see. Oh, my lord. That was my only reply. I had no other words. It was the only thing that left my mouth from beginning to end. And the doctor's ballpoint pens flew across paper as if in response to my words. Those were probably hospice enrollment procedures, business-like to the last. My father was the same. So it's just simple. It was the only real thought I had. Oh my god. That day I was transferred from 4F to 7F, from a 6-person room to a private room. It was a little different from the other wards, this 7F. First of all, the floors were sparkling clean, and second of all, the ceiling was higher than I'd ever seen it. You're probably on the top floor then. The rooms were very nice and had large windows from which the warm daylight streamed in as if by design. But the windows only opened a little. I tested them out, and my head was just barely fit out. Would just barely fit out of one. The colour of my... You forgot the U! I'm kidding. Americans spell differently. The colour of my ID bracelet had changed as well. The bracelet that I had worn ever since the first hospitalisation, the one that had my name and blood type record on it. I feel dizzy now, a little bit. Its colour had now changed from blue to white. A high ceiling, a white vinyl bracelet, a window that would not open more than 15 centimetres. The TV programmes celebrating the New Year were still playing when I transferred to the 7F. And it was at the dawn of that very year that I met her for the first time. Wait, what? Her? I thought you were a girl. Well, I'm going crazy. Like, who are we now? Because I'm lost. Right, this was the opening. So, okay. Is this a yearly romance? Please don't toy with me. I have to click, don't I? Yeah, I do. There was this place of like... There was this place kind of like a lounge at one side of the corridor, across from the nearest station. This generally deserted place held a few couches and chairs, as well as a large TV. Stupid programs commemorating the New Year were still being broadcasted on that 28-inch screen. Really? Why not something decent? And there was a girl who looked absolutely bored watching that absolutely boring TV. Short, in pink pyjamas, a white bracelet on her wrist, just like mine. Impressively long hair that almost reached down to her hips. Hey, do you find that interesting? There was no deep purpose in the asking. Simply, I had nothing else to do, so I started talking to her. Not really, was her only reply to me. She didn't turn to face me at all. And she kept looking on with boredom at that TV as if I didn't even exist. Then don't watch it. Even as I thought this, I sat down in a chair next to her. And side by side we watched TV. Nothing else to do. Nothing we could do. Do I get to see these people? So we sat there silently and watched TV. New Year's celebration programs as per usual. A useless array of comedians and oddities. What the hell's an oddity? And every so often the MC's stupid shrill laughter resounding dryly in this white sun-drenched lounge. This person is cynical. Oh! Beautiful. Well, they have good reason, of course. Say, tell me. The girl suddenly started talking to me. Damn it, put names here! But her eyes were always glued to the TV screen. How many times is it for you now? What do you mean by that? How many times have you come here to F7? Sorry, I have no clue what you're talking about. I see. So it's your first time then? So she'd seen my confusion about her question and come to the right conclusion. Then, since there's no one else around, and since it's my duty... I beg pardon? Duty? There's this rule. Nodding slightly, she explained that the rule was that someone here, 7F, should tell newcomers the truth. I knew nothing, I understood even less. And as if I did not even exist, she slowly started her speech. Now listen closely. ... Her words, spoken methodically one by one. What's she saying? Were a little different from all the ones I'd heard from the doctors about this place. In their business-like, crisp syntaxes, they told me this is a place where one waits for medical advance. Oh, oh God, you say that. This is a place where one heals one's heart, and perhaps they might have been correct in a general sense. But according to this girl, that was just the party line. I'm gonna hate me, I'm right, aren't I? The truth was that this 7F was the only place in the hospital where medical treatments did not take place. This was just a place where you waited for your life to come to an end. Those were her words to me. I thought so as well. I'd felt it before she'd even spoken. See, this is my second time. Second time doing what? Indeed, what? Coming here. Well, so they tell you you're gonna die. You wait here for treatment, but say after 6 or months or a year, and you don't die, they let you go, and then you come back. And then she explained to me, oh, thank you, that nobody on 7F stayed here for initial hospitalization all the way until death. Oh, while there was zero possibility of being cured, you were sent home if your condition was stable. But if it worsened again, you would be returned here. That cycle ended only in death. Whether it was at home or here on 7F, always one of the two, you were going to die. No way to escape it, it seemed. And with that meaning, per meeting her every word, she informed me that this was her second time up here. Click. I'm only going to say this once, so listen closely now. She continued speaking, all the while staring at the blank TV screen. This wasn't idle chit-chat about when lights out was, or where the kitchens was, or anything like that. This was something completely different. The third time you are discharged home, resign yourself. There won't be a fourth time. You will never go home again. If you ever want to escape, head towards the B section, not the B station, not the A station. Eat nothing. That is the simplest shortcut. You'll leave the smallest burden on your family that way. Oh my. It was as if she was packed to the brim with matters like those. This was probably an oral tradition. relevant only to those who were going to die, and kept by those who came here for that purpose. So, is this the duty that you were talking about? Yes, that's right. So, do you remember to perform it for a newcomer yourself someday? Okay? With those words, she slowly stood up. She casually tossed her long hair and it grazed my nose. Have to get my temperature measured, so... Then she turned her back and started walking down the corridor. Now completely deserted, save for me, the lounge held only the laughter from the TV, oh my god, and the white flowers by the windowsill. Oh my god, it's on a loop! In the end, she didn't even look at me once. Protagonist, what? A few days later, New Year's celebrations were over, and the middle and high school students were beginning a new term. Pieces of slime! And just as ever, she and I sat in this lounge, staring blankly at the TV. How did I save this? Hold on. Let me check. Right, there we are. This is boring. So it is. So we said, but both of us kept our eyes on the screen. Hey, is this place always this way? I don't understand what you're getting at. I'm getting at how it's always deserted. Other than the nurses, doctors and help staff, and other than her, I've not seen a single person. Did everybody go home for the New Year's or something? Do you really want to know? Well, I didn't mean... Then I won't tell you. We who disinterestedly, probably tossed back and forth this exchange that could not even be called a conversation. The slight breeze coming from the window that would not open more than 15 centimeters. From time to time her hair would sway, and as if in agreement, the flowers at the windowsill would too. This was how we killed time for day after day, staring at that boring good-for-nothing TV. God, you have no... Click. Oh, here the two of you are. An elderly nurse said as she rushed towards us. From what I'd seen in the nurse's station, she was apparently in charge she was apparently the charge nurse of 7F. You should lose your job. Well, Miss Setsumi, any fever? I'm fine, no fever. Setsumi. So that was her name. You really shouldn't be roaming around like this. Da-da-da. Do you understand? Everyone's worried about you. Well, whatever. Come now, what kind of answer is that? Oh, children these days. The nurse continued to scold and henpeck for some while longer. And the girl named Oh my god, I do apologise. The girl named Setsumi just pretended not to notice it at all. She simply stared straight forward at that boring TV, paying that fussy nurse as little heed as she could. I'll be coming later to draw some blood, okay? Oh, good flaming God. With those words, the charge nurse went back to the nurse's station. Hey, you know... Well, mind if I call you Setsumi? I asked this as I stared at her white vinyl ID bracelet and at the blood type and the name written there. Therein. Written therein. I don't even think that's a word. Doubt. Is something the matter, Setsumi? Why are you calling me that? Huh? You're younger than me. Hey, why am I younger than you? Nothing. That's just what I thought as well. It wasn't that I was offended that she called me younger than her. It was just that no matter how I looked at it, I thought I was 5-6 years older than she was. That's why I took out my driver's license from my breast pocket and handed it directly to her. See, I may not look it, but I'm 20. ... So you're younger. Oh, that's beautiful. She only took a glance at my license before handing it back to me. I don't really get what you're saying. You're younger than her. It doesn't really matter. I'm just a little older than you are. That's all. She murmured as expressionlessly as ever. Her eyes were fixed on that boring TV. All right, but it also felt as if she was gazing at something far away.